Hello fellow crafters. So today we're going to try to do some tiered tray designs. I'm going to make a couple. So the first one I have is this crate, and we're going to make a little carrot box. So let's start by getting some of our antique wax, and we're going to just paint it on there lightly. Actually, we're going to add a little water, kind of water it down. That's much better. So that's done. We're going to take our carrots. Now these carrots came on garland. So I'm not sure if this garland's going to work, but I think I have other carrots and these don't work that we can work with. So we're going to cut them off the garland first of all. See, the other carrots, they just pop right out. I can't pull this out like I wanted to, so we'll just cut it off. And then I'm going to take our, I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. Sorry about that, I had to grab my clippers. We're gonna put different top on so it looks a little bit higher end. And hopefully we can get it right down in there. There you go. It's just styrofoam in there. So that's the good part. It just goes right in there. I think that looks a lot more high-end than this one. You can see the difference. So we're just going to do that for all 6 of them. Okay, so we have our carrots. Cut off the garland and have the different greenery on the top instead of that paper crepe greenery. I think they look better. I'm going to take this pen from the Dollar Tree. Just going to give it, the crate, some definition by going along the edges. Gives it a little bit more, I guess, aged looking, like it's been outside for a while and it's a little dirty. Now what we're going to do is take our moss, which I have to go get. Okay, so we got our moss, and we're going to take our piece of floral foam now. We're going to cut it to size to fit into, it's pretty good actually. Probably have to cut, and you know how much I love cutting floral foam. What a mess. So we'll just cut this one. And then we can make little holes in here. Then we're going to take some of our floral moss. I was going to use the reindeer moss. I don't know. Reindeer or the floral. Let's go with the reindeer. So now we'll just put a line of glue where the holes aren't. Try to get our reindeer moss around it without being in the holes. Let's give our little carrots a little dab of glue on the end. Start sticking them down in there. Get the reindeer moss out of the way. It might be easier to do the reindeer moss after we get the carrots in there. Crafting is definitely a learning process. There you go. I think we got the floral moss pretty covered up. We can just trim off the excess around. Now the last thing we're going to do is make a sign that says carrots 5 cents. And then we're just going to glue it on the front. So let's glue the back. Get it in the middle. There you go. So that's one of the little projects we're going to use for the tiered tray. So for our next tiered tray, I have this little carrot. It comes apart, but we're just going to wrap it. We're going to wrap it in yarn. So we're going to start at the bottom. I don't know where my fingers are, my silicone fingers, so I'll probably end up burning myself with the glue gun as usual. We're going to take it, make sure it's not coming apart, and we're going to just start winding. With the orange yarn. And sorry, I know I'm trying not to burn myself, so I kind of left you hanging there for a minute. So we're just going to keep going around with the glue and the yarn. Put a little dab of glue right there and get this end in there. And there's your carrot. Now, I have green for the top, so let's see how that works. It's pretty green colored that I got from the Dollar Tree. I never find the ends of them though on the Dollar Tree yarn. So we're just going to cut it. There we go. I don't think this is going to take very long. We're just going to, you know what, we're going to start at the top from this one and go down. Should have waited. There you go. It's a pretty cute little carrot just put on a tiered tray. I really like the green color. So we're going to take this little house. This one has the chalkboard on it. And this is a rabbit that I took off another Dollar Tree sign. And we have our 2 little carrots. So we're just going to make a little house for the rabbit. And let's give before we start, let's give the house a little darker color. And again, we're just going to use some of the chalkboard paint. Chalkboard paint. We're going to use some of the wax. There we go. Now we're going to take these 2 little carrots, and I've had these carrots for years. I used to do a lot of wood crafts back when we lived in California, and I think I got them at AC Moore. That's how long ago it was. I miss AC Moore. You get a whole bunch of cool wood crafts for like 99 cents. I'm just going to give him a coat of, these 2 little carrots, a coat of orange and green. We're going to give the tops the green color. So while that's drying, we're going to take our rabbit and we're just going to place them in the middle. And we're just going to glue them down. Now let's see if I can do this without burning myself. So let's find the middle. I'm just going to glue them down in his little house. Let's give this another coat of orange. It's kind of very pale orange. Anita's All-Purpose Craft Paint in Tiger Orange. Tiger Orange. Let's see. Let's see if the second coat is a little better. While the orange is drying, I'm going to take some of the boxwood I had left over from my last project yesterday, and I'm just going to cut some leaves. See how that looks. Let me take them all the way apart. I think I will. Let's try taking them all the way apart. Just put some leaves on there. And then we're just going to glue them right along the edge of the roof. I want to make sure that they're even on both sides. Lift them up. That's about even. Let's make sure when we glue it, it's even. There you go. A pretty simple little craft for a tiered tray or just to sit on your table. And there you go. Okay, for our next craft, we have this, I don't know what you call it, this stuff, sparkly, shiny stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it off and use the frame underneath. Now, I've never tried to take one of these apart before. I've seen other people do it. So let's try it. There we go. Well, that was a mess. But we have our frame. We have our rabbit frame. I think we can save the eyes. If not, it's no big deal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the Dollar Tree, what are they called? Microfiber dust mop pad. And we're going to lay him on there. And we're going to cover him with this. Now, I've used these before and they are messy too. So okay, I think this is just going to be a lot of trimming. And trying not to make them go bald in between. Okay, so that was about 10 minutes of trimming and there's still longer hairs than I'd like on here. But we're just going to put it back together with the eyes. So I'm going to try to do this. Oh, and the glue on this, on these eyes, I don't know what kind of glue Dollar Tree uses, but man, is it sticky. I couldn't get all the little shiny parts off, but I got enough off so you won't be able to see it. And it's going to be down in there in the white anyway, so we're just going to put little dabs of glue on the back of the eye. Pick it up carefully. I got the one on there, so we want to get the other one. And then I have this little pink pom-pom for his nose. And put some glue on there. And we're going to glue his nose on. Okay, to define his ears a little more, I cut 2 pieces of felt. I used those pink ears, the sparkly ears that came with it as a template, and I cut out 2 pieces from pink felt, and we're just going to glue them down. Okay, so we glued the first ear down, and now we're going to do the second one. Get them measured up. Put some glue on the back of them. Pick them up carefully so I don't burn myself. Gosh, I'm so paranoid about the hot glue now. And then I'm just going to fold up some of the mop fuzz and I'm going to grab a little dab of glue on the end of the ear and then just fold it up in there so it kind of looks like it's cohesive and that it's in there. And there's a little bit more trimming. And then for the last thing, I'm going to straighten out his eyes a little bit. Okay, so we're going to make him a little bow. So I'm going to show you. I have a video on it, but I'm going to show you again. This ribbon's a little stiff. So you take it, you take the end, you hold it between your thumb and your ring finger, you wrap it around your forefinger and your middle finger, and then you take the end and you go underneath the ribbon, pull it tight, come over the top, and you see this loop right here? You take the end of the ribbon and you go underneath, and then you pull it tight. You bring the end of it down and you pull and make a knot. And then you slide it off your fingers and you gotta fluff it out a little bit. You can pull it a little tighter on there. And there it is. Fluff it out a little bit. Then it's a little long, so we want to cut it. We want to cut it even on both sides. And then we want to dovetail it. We just want to glue it down and give them a little bow tie. Let's put a little glue on there. Find the center. And glue it down. And there you have it. A little fuzzy rabbit. So these are the eggs from the Dollar Tree. I'm waiting for my chickens to dry, so I thought I'd start something else. I don't like the sparkly on there, so I'm just taking the brush I just used and I'm trying to put a thin layer on, and I got a paper towel here, and I'm just gonna try to cover the sparkle, the glitter on there. And then I'm going to take the paper towel, well, try to take the paper towel, and take a lot of the white off so the color shows through. And there's still some sparkle, like you can see the sparkle right here, but it kind of mutes it. Maybe just a little bit more. And I think these come 12 to a bag, so I'm going to do all 12. I'm going to paint all 12 of them. And I did one earlier just to see how it would come out, and here's the blue one. It's still got a little bit of sparkle, but not as much as, say, the yellow one. So it mutes it some. So I'm going to just do all 12. Okay, so we got all the eggs painted, and they're still a little sparkly, but they're definitely muted. Here's a pack that I didn't use, and you can see the difference. It's just toned down a little bit. So got those done. What we're going to do now is we're going to give, I had to take apart, my dollar store didn't have any of the cones yesterday, so I had to take apart another project. So it's kind of, it's got a little bit of stuff on it, but it'll work because we're going to give it a coat of paint anyway. So we're going to give that, we're going to give this a coat of green, just tone down the white, just in case any of it shows through. And we're going to give this little miniature clay pot. They come 3 for $1.25 at the dollar store. You just got to be careful because half of them are broken. We're going to give that a coat of this green. So as soon as I'm done that, we'll come back. While we're waiting for our clay pot to dry and our other paint to dry, we're going to try something with one of these bunnies. 10 pieces to a pack. And this is just the dollar store Cricut paper. So we're going to cover the bunny in the Cricut paper. So we're going to measure them up and cut the excess off now to make it easier. So let's find the edge. We're just going to lay that sticky side up, and we're just going to put the bunny on there. Give it a good press. And we can trim them up. This is just a rough cut, because we'll get the X-Acto knife and do it so we get all the edges. Okay, so we have the X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to go around the edges and trim it up. And then we'll do something to his front. Okay, so we have them all trimmed up, and we're going to put a bunny tail on them. I got this whole bag of tails. There's a nice little white one right there. I'll just put some, he's kind of in there for a while, so let's just fluff him up a little bit. And put a little dab of glue on there. And then we're going to take towering tumble block. Thought I had some out. Doesn't matter. We're going to take one. And so he stands up for a tiered tray. We're just going to put this on the back of him so he can stand up. So we'll put a little line of glue on there. And put it on the back so it's covered up. And there you go. He stands up. We'll give him a little flower. A little sticker from the dollar store. Make him a little springy. And that one was way easy. Okay, so we're gonna run a line of glue. The paint's dry on this, so we're gonna run a line of glue along the lid of the pot, the edge of the pot, the lip of the pot. And we're gonna take this, stick it on there so it's even all the way around. That held pretty good. So now what we're gonna do is start taking our eggs that we painted and putting them along the edge of the pot. So here's the first one. Just hold it there for a minute till it's secure. And that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go along the edge and we're gonna put the eggs on there and we're gonna build it up. I'm gonna try to make it so they're all even. Try to do a different color so they're not all the same color. That one needs a little bit more. I think I put it too close. So we're just going to keep going around until we build it up. So there's our first row glued on. So we're just going to keep working up the cone till we get to the top. So we have all our eggs on. It took more eggs than I thought it would take, and it's a little top heavy. I would use a bigger pot next time. But anyway, we're just gonna go with this. This is what we have, and I think it looks pretty good. You see, it's an egg topiary. So what we're gonna do is spaces in between the eggs right now, we're gonna take some reindeer moss and we're just gonna fill in with reindeer moss to hide those spaces. So it'll look like this. So we're just gonna take a little bit of the hot glue, get it down in there. We're going to take some of the reindeer moss. We're just going to put it in until it gets into the glue. And I have my paintbrush that I'm going to use to push it down in there. So we're going to just do that around where there's spaces where you can see the foam. Just to make it look pretty and springy. That's why I'm using the reindeer moss instead of the other kind of moss, because it's green and it's pretty and it's springy. And then where it's a little long, we'll just trim it up. So I'm going to do that around the whole egg topiary until we get all the spaces filled in. And there you go. We got all the reindeer moss in the cracks and filled in all the gaps, and here's our egg topiary. Still got a little bit of glue strings on it, got to get off, but there you go. We can put it on a tiered tray. It's a little large for a tiered tray. I think I would use the larger pot, like I said, for if I would do this again, but I think it came out pretty well. So if you like, well, so we have all our tiered tray designs. So we have our egg topiary, our fuzzy bunny rabbit, our rabbit in the house, our little buffalo check rabbit, and carrots in the crate, and our little yarn carrot. So we're going to put them all on a tiered tray.